In 2015, almost 70,000 people came to our country as refugees from places like Burma, Iraq, Somalia, Ethiopia. Some came with the promise that their families would be allowed to follow soon. Years later, one of those refugees in St. Cloud is suing the federal government, saying in all this time that reunification for his family has not happened. Here's Sharon Yu.
All dressed up in their finest clothes, Eid al-Adha celebrations involved a small photo shoot at a refugee camp in Ethiopia. The photos are for Rabi Mohammed, St. Cloud resident of 7 years.
To be honest with you, I have had some sadness over the years because my family was not here, my wife was not here, my kids were not here. I didn't have any other extended family members here, so I felt a lot of sadness over the years.
The distance is not for a lack of trying. Mohammed, who came to the U.S. in 2015 as a refugee, filed for his family to come with him after his arrival. Family reunification is a unique right that people with refugee status have, something Alexandra Zaretsky with the International Refugee Assistance Project says should have taken a maximum of months.
Rabi's case had been pending almost 7 years just at this first step, which is about essentially proving that and verifying that he has a relationship to his wife and his kids, and that relationship existed at the time he was admitted as a refugee. Even that first step used to be something that would happen in an average of like 8 months, and now it's ballooned for everyone. I think in 2022 it was something like 28 months just for that first step.
But not 7 years. Both Mohammed and Zaretsky say they have a hunch as to why it's taken so long.
I do think that the former president has something to do with that because he forbid from people from my country to come to this country for a period of time.
Executive Order 13769, or the so-called Muslim ban, was signed by then-President Donald Trump in 2017. Under the Biden administration, the effects of that ban still linger.
There's delays across the board for everyone, but certainly families from Somalia and other Muslim-majority countries seem to be seeing the largest delays.
Plus, Zaretsky says Mohammed's case was subject to unusual scrutiny, the agency requesting DNA evidence to prove his relationships with his sons, something that could be voluntarily submitted but never required.
He submitted everything that by USCIS's regulations they were required to approve his application. It should have been a ministerial, very easy process, and yet they sat on it and asked him a lot of very detailed questions about the marriage certificate, about the birth certificates. They came back and asked for DNA evidence when it's not required. And so none of that should have happened.
Another thing that delayed the case even more was that Mohammed never received any communication from USCIS saying that it was looking for DNA evidence in the first place. The team only found out that his case had been temporarily closed due to lack of evidence through a Freedom of Information Act request.
At a certain point, got stuck in a pile, and no one was paying any attention to it. These cases have been transferred around the country, to different processing centers multiple times, and each time that happens, the physical file has to be sent somewhere else and it just gets stuck in another pile. I think partly neglect and people not paying attention to it, and partly maybe some of these changes that came in with the Trump administration just applying extra scrutiny to Somalis.
Mohammed, in the last 7 years, has only been able to visit his family once. His youngest, Khalid, 4 years old now, was born after that visit.
He's never held Khalid, right?
Never seen him since he was born. He asked me questions about, Dad, when are you coming back? Or when are you going to see us? And I don't have an answer for him. And it's really a shame that I'm not able to tell him, that this is what's going on. I don't know if he can understand that, but I just feel sad when he asks me those questions.
So since our interview, Mr. Mohammed did submit DNA evidence, even though, again, it wasn't required. And that first step actually has been approved. But it could still be years before his wife and kids can physically come to the U.S. because of interviews, processing, and more evidence providing on this side and also from Ethiopia.
So Sharon, the point of the lawsuit then is what? What does Mr. Mohammed want right now?
Well, so the lawsuit is what's called a mandamus lawsuit, which is just asking the courts to help speed the process up, not asking specifically for an approval or a denial. It will continue to move its way through the courts to ensure that they don't drop the ball on continuing the processing. Other than that, the suit only asks for compensation of attorney fees.
So
Jana.
he's willing to pass all of the country's tests, just go faster than 7 years.
That, and then he's also willing to wait several more years.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Such an important story. Appreciate it.